All right, smell goods. We are here on the late night. You can still hear me, right? Mr. Spot, y'all can hear me? I'm over here on location. All right. I got sincere. I was out and about today, and I was out and about today, and I realized that there's a lesson that I need to I need to what's the word? I need to communicate to white people. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, whatever, if you out there, even look, if you Asian, whatever, if you wondering, right? If you might try it, but look, I'm gonna tell you right now, right? Do not try to reason with black people. Don't work. They don't, that's what I seen today. Like, other people, it's like sometimes they try to reason with you. Like when like, look, that right there, that's mine, don't touch it. See, somebody white would be like, no, but you don't understand. Tell my man, that's mine. I understand that part, and you need to understand not to touch it. No, but see, I don't do that with black people. Maybe you don't have a lot of experience with black people. You thinking you should try to reason with them. Don't. We're not very reasonable. I've been coming face to face with hate recently. Like, it's people, you know what I'm saying? Like, just on a regular day, when you go on about your travels, it's people that I don't really fuck with them. They don't really fuck with me. But recently, just coming face to face with hate. What the hell's wrong with this person? Divine truth for love. Don Bishop in the building. Got a little strange sciences going on. Did y'all see that in New York City, they said it's 9,000 city workers. 9,000 city workers is on the unpaid leave right now for refusing to take the vaccine. Did anybody see that story? You was building with the wordsmith? Where's the wordsmith? Yeah, I got sincere. The firehouses is 31. It's 31 firehouses that's closed now because they don't have enough firefighters. Our chief said he heard 23,000 early in the day. I mean, it could be that the number that I saw, rose. And from what I'm hearing, Eric Adams, he's the front runner right now to be the next mayor of New York City. For those that's not in New York, I'm hearing that he's proposing like a 3 to 5% pay cut for all city employees when he takes office. I've heard that there's some proposals as high as a 10% pay cut. Is the real shit starting to hit the fan? Much as I said the entire time that the actual illness could end up being the least of our worries. Yeah, Don Bishop says he's the first responder. Well, there's definitely all of that is the aspect that I look at too, in terms of some people is more replaceable than others. Ultimately, I think that's what's going to be the nail in the coffin for the mandates, is that I don't see how they're going to be able to run the city. But I'm saying, how much of the, all these mandates that's coming down, I'm saying, is also related. Remember, we presented that that possibility that they killing two birds with one stone and trying to kick some people off the city payrolls, get rid of those pensions, get rid of all those medical benefits, et cetera, et cetera. It's one of them things where you should be aware, you should pay attention to what's going on. That's what you got to do knowledge to. You got to see the canary in the coal mine. So see wherever you at, right? You got to be observing what's going on in New York. See, just like, look, we wasn't observing what was going on in China. And so nobody was ready when it came over here. But we see what happens, man. Right now, even after, this is 2 years now. It's 2 years, right? It's the second year. After 2 years, yeah, because this was right about the time. This was right about the time you started hearing about it in 2019. But after 2 years, we still got a whole bunch of information and not much knowledge. Well, yeah, that's those divisions in society, they always stoking those divisions, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just a new kind of battlefield right there. Whether you saying the North versus the South, the East versus the West, uh, the Democrats versus the Republicans, yeah, now you got the vaccinated versus the unvaccinated. But I'm gonna tell you what I suspect is gonna happen though. Is that if the boosters get mandated, right, eventually people are gonna start pumping the brakes. And so it's gonna be more and more people that will be then classified as unvaccinated because they didn't get the booster. But I'm just saying that, due to knowledge. 360 degrees, meaning it's like, all right, we got this thing right here, but we know how this thing is operated. See, a lot of this is done in secret amongst people who's not going to reveal nothing. It can come to light, but they're not going to help you. And when you deal with secrets and things that's not coming to light, it's always something there that's not visible to the naked eye. It's not audible to the naked ear. So right now, we got this thing right here that we always have to pay attention. When you deal with mathematics, you deal with the science of possibilities, probabilities, chances, et cetera, et cetera. So, we got this, this huge issue, right? But, you know, I'm not saying that the issue isn't real, but saying that the issue could be used for misdirection. And while you being misdirected in one area, right? Or while you having, your mind is being the amount of stress that's being put on your mind, right? Because of all the different situations, whether you want to take the vaccine, what's gonna happen with your gig, and what's gonna happen with your gig, even if you take the vaccine, what if you take the vaccine and lose your gig? So you so concerned with that a thousand other things, could be, uh, a thousand other things can transpire to your detriment without you realizing it. So see, that's what I always said, man. You know, the 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 reaction, the actual changes to, at least in New York, what's our entire way of life. I'm sure, it's other places that not as much changed. You gotta pay attention to these people because they dealing with experimentation. 793rd said, last I heard, the firefighters specifically say that they're not all anti-vaccines. Many have had the bug already and have antibodies, but more anti-mandate. Indeed, and you got people who, for the past 2 years, like if you're dealing with somebody that's a police officer, for instance, right? Or, a firefighter, like, dude, I'm not interacting with people. Hey, we fighting fires. Like when we go in there, everybody's out. If you an officer, you like, listen, man, I've been dealing with people the whole 2 years. I've been arresting people, you know what I'm saying? I don't see why I gotta take it. Why I gotta take it now. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. As it goes on, I think it's gonna just be enough is enough in terms of the mandate. And just in terms of, that part is more conspiratorial, but just in terms of, listen, man, you know, you're greasing the slippery slope to the point where, what's the next thing they can mandate? Yeah, and listen, uh, see, even with that, right? To me, that's a little bit straw man and what they call disingenuous. When you even put the anti-vax label on this, nigga, I'm anti-commercial in the middle of the night asking me if I took this medication and to call in for the goddamn class action suit. Like, this is not along with the other shit you've been doing for 60 years. Like, reasonable reasonable people would agree. And see, before this, reasonable people down at the CDC, and the FDA agreed that you needed years, months, and days to test some shit. Now you're saying we good. So sometimes, just to say that, once you put that terminology on it, it's like, yeah, you have to leave a whole bunch of shit out. You have to leave out, them being exposed for financing the research for it. See, because when you just anti, that just means against. Like, I'm just against it because it's not anti. There's reasons, legitimate reasons, right? Legitimate questions about what's going to happen if a person takes it. And if you leave all that out, then you can say, oh, well, yeah, the person is just anti-vax. You just don't want to take the vaccine. But see, that's like if you piss in a cup, right? And they give it to me to drink, and I say, nah, I don't want that. And you say, so you just anti-cup. You anti-cup, man. You dangerous in the world because you just anti-cup. And you just left out what you the part what you did that would make me reasonably say, listen, get the fuck away from me with that cup before I hurt you. So I don't buy this stuff. You ever heard of that guy, Frank Luntz? Has anyone heard of Frank Luntz? Interesting guy. Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Let me see here. Little Greta mad with the elites for flying over 400 private jets to the G20 summit. Who's little Greta? Sliwa might sneak it out. I mean, I don't know if the Republicans just have the votes, because if they did, I don't think de Blasio would have did 2 terms. Some healthcare providers won't even cover you if you get sick with COVID, because they'll say, well, the vaccine's available and you didn't take it, so that's on you. Can't buy or sell without the mark. But, I don't think that's going to work, because the vaccine was no guarantee that you wasn't going to catch it. That you have to, so I'm talking about just as a legal precedent. What was the guarantee that I wasn't going to get it with the vaccine? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wouldn't go in there with Crump, with Crump and argue that. But if you had Johnny Cochran, you could. you know, no one, I guess no one's heard of Frank Lentz. Uh, Frank Lentz is this guy in the, he's in the political sphere. He does focus groups. And for instance, you know how global warming has been changed to climate change? That's because of Frank Lentz. That Frank Lentz, he specializes, right, in different ways to ask a question or present an idea, right, to make people give a different answer. They see, even with the border, right? He's the one that it's like, okay, he asked people like, yo, are you for illegal immigration? Everybody was like, nah, I'm against it. And then he was like, you know, are you for, you know, people getting asylum that are doing all this struggle and all of that? And people was like, yeah, you know, we should help people and all of that. You know, that's the Christian thing to do. And you see how that language changed. See, and it's not new. The Department of Defense, the Department of Defense used to be the Department of War. You see, just the terminology and how you use these things. See, that's why we choose our own names. That's why we got our own language. So, you know, anti-vax. See, in a different time, they would just say, yeah, those are red-blooded Americans, man. They like their rights and freedoms. They like their rights and freedoms. But now everybody's anti-vax. You know, listen, and see, I told y'all this one night, y'all try, you know, same thing with that phobia shit. Where if I don't like you, I don't agree with you, I don't want to do what you talking about, I gotta, you know, have some type of mental disorder, right? I gotta have a phobia, or you know, I'm just you know, anti. I'm just against things. I'm just a hater. I'm just jealous. For these city workers that don't want vaccines may turn out. I just listen. I just you know, I find it difficult to believe. You know, the only thing I can say is this. Uh uh De Blasio has fucked up worse than Dinkins. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that, you know, Giuliani was a Republican, he won, but that was mostly, you know, and you can't really blame Dinkins on the whole thing on Dinkins, like just the 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 world of crack was just coming to, you know, just a certain point where, you know, it was the end of, you know, just, you know, shit was going crazy in New York, but that was really something that had been building up. and it just happened to come down and think it's time. You know what I mean? But that happened and just, it was about 2,500 murders, in the city. It's just the economy was bad. It's just everything. So, that's what swept Giuliani. You know, we'll have to see. I mean, it's not impossible just because of how bad de Blasio has messed up. It's not impossible, but I don't see it. Yeah, they got all them. My thing is just, when we talk about reasonable people, I don't know why we need a label and shit. But yeah, Frank Lynch is, a lot of just the terminology that you hear, um, political ideology spoken in the, that you hear the news given in, a lot of that is from the guy Frank Lynch. Fetty. So we'll see, man. But it's one of them things where I can't recall who it was. I saw a letter one time, right? And uh I think it might have been from some Jewish scholars, right? They was writing the Pope saying like, yo, man, why you doing what you doing with the teachings? You know what I mean? You got motherfuckers over there eating pig and worshiping the Sabbath on Sunday and shit and all this stuff. Like why you doing that? And the Pope pretty much wrote him a letter back saying, because I can do that. Like we changed it to Sunday and everybody worshiping on Sunday, right? All right, then that means we can do that, motherfucker. Shut the fuck up. And see, that to me is how this thing is going down. Why is it a mandate? Because they can do that. I didn't get a chance to be at the G building today. I wanted to see if the young brothers came through. I wanted to see if the young brothers came through with their definitions. That's a whole science right there too. But we definitely in that time uh where uh we often have that discussion here. I think that was one of our first pretty much heated discussions, was about the historicity of Mr. Yakub. But the science that's included in those degrees and that's not mentioned in those lessons, right? This the time, man, you better know them. This is one of them real life times. This is one of them real life times. You understand what I mean? With whatever the science is, right, that the doctors, ministers, nurses, and cremators is dealing with, you want to know that right now. You understand what I'm saying? See, now's the time, and listen, this is not a shot at anybody, right? But see, if you didn't want to do this, right? If you didn't want to do this, but they was able to force you to do it, then to some degree, your culture is not free. It's not just a message about this and what happened, right? But it's a message about what you build. You understand what I'm saying? Because we could build, like you know how what was they say, inside my father's house is many mansions. Which is, oh snap, the wordsmith. You see, the last time the wordsmith came out there 2 days before the rally and left. You know how the wordsmith do. The Pope is held in higher regards than the President of the United States. By who? The Pope lost his power in the French Revolution. The King of France was the last guns. Those were the last guns that the Pope had. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a time when, you know, through their leaders, the Pope commanded, most of the armies in Europe. Like, during the time when they going on the Crusades and all that, that's on the word of the Pope. And they power mostly subsided at the end of World War II. At the end of, that's another reason why, I wouldn't put it up there with the top reasons, but that's another side reason of what happened to Christianity, is that when they made the New World Order, right after World War II, they didn't include the Pope. That's supposedly the way it went down. FDR wanted to bring the Pope in to how they was going to, have things going down. It was when you see it's videos now that you see with Stalin, what's the guy from England? Churchill and FDR. And FDR has said, yo, we should bring the Pope through, do this right. And supposedly Stalin was like, yeah, well, how much guns he got though? Like it's saying, how much guns he got though? Like, nah, we ain't fucking with him. But that was the King of France. Like, see, all the rest of the people, they had left. The British had the Anglican Church. The Dutch had the Dutch Reformed Church. The Germans, uh, you know, what's the guy's name that started all that shit? Martin Luther. He's from Germany. So other people have been peeling off. He didn't have control of them armies no more. In France, when the king over there went down, that was a result. He said religion and holidays are spells and witchcraft. They are man-made to control populations and money control. What exactly is witchcraft? I was thinking about that the other day. Like, is there like an ancient science to it? Like, I be hearing people talk about ancient sciences. Like, it's these women that they practice it. I think they call it Wicca. But like, some of the practices of it is, kind of unfamiliar to me. I don't know if you ever paid attention to Wicca, but we'll stay away from that. But you know, witches, I always looked at that as something that they made up. You know what I'm saying? So if witches is fake, what's witchcraft? The wordsmith is back. But yeah, what exactly is witchcraft? That's one of the bugged out things. That was one of the bugged out things that we used to do when I was a kid. Like, there was certain women, especially like if it was like certain like older women in the neighborhood that people used to just say they was witches. Like, I don't know what was the phenomenon? You know what I'm saying? Because that stopped happening when I was a little kid. It was like, yo, people used to, yo, that lady's a witch. And we should go do shit like knock on their door and run and shit. You know? And then, you know, that's why we quiz. Eventually it's like, yeah, but witches is fake. How the fuck is she a witch? Witchcraft is having someone do a practice that they don't know exactly what it's for, like Halloween. Why are they buying costumes for Christmas? Why are they buying gifts and putting it under a tree? So you're saying witchcraft is someone does a practice that they don't know exactly what it's for. You know, I never heard that particular uh, definition of witchcraft. You know, for me personally, you know, I was never a huge holiday person from the jump. You know, of course, if you being a kid, you're always gonna have a certain affinity for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? But I never really Halloween. I never really liked Halloween. Like all fucking bobbing for apples and all that shit. You know, and you know, the costume shit, like, you know, it's all right, but it wasn't really nothing. Like, I'm like, yo, I'm looking forward to my costume and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I thought trick or treating was stupid because I had candy in the house. I go, my aunt, she buy a motherfucking 80-pound bag of candy. The fuck I'm going outside asking strangers for candy for? I got candy right here. People used to come to my house. People used to come to my house trick or treating. I'd be there. But see, I'd be there, took all the good candy out the bag. Or the Snickers, I got those. Leave y'all with the candy corn. So yeah, I never really got into Halloween. Suspects that it falls under a form of occultism. I've heard people even refer to Erica Badu in recent years as a witch. But yeah, playing around with blood and stuff like that, that's dealing with that Wicca stuff. I don't know, because you know that starts to run into the you know, uh, you know, there's some kind of feminism associated with that. In some parts of Africa, the community people will beat your ass if they catch you doing some witchcraft. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. What is witchcraft? Like even if I'm doing something and I don't know what it's for, right? How you know what it's for? And how you know if I'm doing it, how you know whether I know what it's for or not? I don't know, man. I don't keep track of them. According to various cultural worldviews, witchcraft is the use of supernatural powers, usually to do harm. Someone who practices witchcraft or is accused of practicing witchcraft is called a witch. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What supernatural powers? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some of this stuff, voodoo, Santeria, etc., these are not witchcraft. Okay. Yeah, I hear people, talking about. I don't know what it is. So, like I said, it's a lot of stuff that me personally, I've just put in the category of uh we have things to master before we get to that level. Like right now, we just learn how to walk. Witchcraft would be like an Olympic event. You just barely learning. You can't even walk with balance. You know, astral projection and things of that nature. It's possible, but we're not there yet. Witchcraft is real. That's mind control. New York City is practicing witchcraft by telling people that natural cures can't fight the virus. So witchcraft is lying. So hypnotherapy is in the same field of work, controlling the mind like mental slavery, like how they put the Jordan commercial out. Uh, I mean, I guess that's mind control is not very supernatural. It's one of them things. Witchcraft is one of them things that it's like everything and nothing at the same time or something. Like it has so many definitions that it's hard to identify what it is. Witchcraft is lying like Jedi mind trick. You got a strong mind, you don't fall victim. Okay, I think I see what it is. See, the word in the 5% language for witchcraft is lying. I think I think that's my problem, is that I'm just not translating what y'all saying. There's books and stuff on it, but if you want to learn about that stuff, you need a teacher or educator. Any and all that stuff is dealing with knowledge as the foundation. I understand. I'll tell you another thing that and maybe I have some other signs, but the whole black cat thing was another thing that made me say, this witchcraft shit is bullshit. Yeah. It's just one of the days, man. Like, come on, man. Come on. But I guess if that's how you defining it as lying, then complete. Complete. I was thinking about you earlier today. Motherfucking uh I was trying to figure out the signs of those sneakers. You made those? Cause now people keep asking me what kind of sneakers it is. I keep telling them they the new Yeezys, experimental. It's only 25 pairs. I'm testing them out. Alpo, listen, man. These get shot every day, B. Don Bishop said it very well said. We have things to master first. I have a book called The Sixth, Seventh, and Eighth Books of Moses. That's all about spells and all type of spooky shit. I never opened that book. You don't remember when the black cat ran on the field and the Giants lost the game? Nah, I don't recall it. So it all comes down to what you think you become and what you feel you attract and what you imagine you create. Does anybody know like the origin of witches? There's a lot of medieval kind of claptrap that comes from lack of knowledge, that people still believe in today. Yeah, hit me with the link. Witchcraft is making the original man think he is inferior to the colored man. Hmm. Yeah, I guess so. Difficult for me to say. You know, I take it, stuff like that, you know, I look at today's agreement 114. I don't know what you're doing, but look, you go out on the worst part, I'll stay right here. You go ahead out. You go ahead out on the worst part, though. Your grandparents were both Santeros. I don't know. It just gets to, once you get to, the spells and the incantations and things of that nature, man, I think it's just, the interaction between people. Like it's one of them things where, the word itself, witchcraft, etc., is kind of mystified. The earliest known evidence we can find of witchcraft, as we would recognize it today, dates back to Tibet, generally recognized as Anglo-Saxon paganism, pre-Christian paganism within medieval England. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I've always thought of witchcraft. I know it's individuals. You got the medicine man and these types of individuals like that. That people just lack knowledge of the things they was dealing with. Some of this stuff. Critical race theory. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about that. I still haven't gotten it really down pat. Like I haven't really looked at kind of the entirety of what it is. Now listen. Oh, this is the Santeria right here. They believe in Ada Bay, a female goddess who gave birth to Yuka, who created the universe. You said they always accused the black woman, medicine woman healer. Oh man, Jesse Jackson in the hospital. Man, listen. Yuka, who was the male counterpart. Some people are just into occultism and being called witches. The picture with Baphomet with hand pointing up and one down is talking about as above, so below. Same thing exists and you exist outside of you. Yeah, I'm not to the whole Baphomet thing. So I mean, yeah, some of this stuff is I just know that Baphomet is very associated with the entertainment industry. They always talk about Baphomet. But see, uh like you just said, uh occultism, occult just means hidden science. So what's the root word of culture? Cult. Yeah, but uh cult has a etymological definition and it has a Christian definition. So just like when the word pagan pre the word pagan pre-Christianity just meant you wasn't Roman. But the Christian meaning is devilishment. He said culture comes from cultivation, cult comes from occult. But Ali and Elijah had some occult to them. Yeah, cult just means hidden sciences. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, the negative meaning to it is from the Christian perspective. You know what I'm saying? That, when you get into that high Christianity where, even playing cards is playing with the devil and shit, which I think that has some relation to, uh, cards that you play those games like spades comes from those tarot cards. Those is I guess we have some topics. We have some topics to explore now. He said 7 planes of energy, 5 levels of consciousness, or is a cult. I mean, I don't think it's nothing really a cult anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not uh I mean, I suppose some people would like to consider their science hidden, but it's not really hidden sciences like that no more. You know what I mean? Because some of the people that they call in a cult, is just people that knew science that everybody else ain't know. And they practicing whatever they practicing, like Pythagoras is that's said to be a cult. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the cult of this, the cult of that. Uh, just like when they say the Egyptian mystery schools, you know, yeah, it's a mystery to you because you ain't know what's going on. Like, do the Egyptians call it mystery schools, or do only the Greeks call it mystery schools? Because, yeah, nigga, you don't even speak our language. Of course, it's going to be mysterious to you. No, occult means a hidden science. I'm just saying that a lot of these terms, right, that we've been using today, they terms that's charged up, you know what I'm saying, with, 2,000 years of, religious meaning, religious application, like when we say God, you know what I'm saying, or even if we say Islam, you know what I'm saying, there's some words that's charged up, with a religious meaning. To the point where, when we say, Islam, we might get Saeed coming here and he start like, I'm not even talking about what you talking about. And a lot of times, like you say with everything else, that definition that comes from having that worldview, you know what I'm saying, don't always coincide with the actual meaning. So the same way you kind of gotta, go ahead and define God and take all the religious aspects out of it, in terms of you thinking that this is a word that was made in the Garden of Eden, right? When you take all that religious aspect out of it and you trace down the etymology and the history and the development of the idea of a supreme being, et cetera, et cetera. And listen, can't really call it. But I'm about to take it down. About to take it down for the day. You know what I'm saying? Came on a little bit at the end in the last minute, ripping and running the day with the 5%. You know what I'm saying? At any rate, uh, We be in the pocket tomorrow at 7 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? This right here is pretty much, this is a random jewel session. You know what I'm saying? I guess do each one, teach one. But it is what it is tonight. Complete said, for those of you that trade on the markets, if you into Bitcoin, comp and bounce, and if trade on the market, check for CRCW if you into pink sheet. I was at this joint today where these people had NFTs. In this particular NFT, they were saying that the dude who was telling me, he said he bought it. He got one. He said he bought it for $500 and it's worth $150,000 now. And he was like, he had one, but he said he knew people that bought them when they was 100, and they got like 10 or 20, and they 150,000 now. You know what I'm saying? So literally today, I was around a whole bunch of millionaires and shit with NFT money though. The name of this NFT is called Border 8 Yacht Club. So I don't know if y'all was into the NFTs, but I was around some people today. I mean, I don't doubt it. And people are clearly making money in it, but I think it's a little bit flawed. I think the flaw in it is that there's no actual value. Like this NFT they had today was like a picture of a monkey or something. Like it wasn't like, this is, people paying, eventually what happens when somebody says, yo, son, this shit is just a picture of a monkey. I'm not giving you 150,000 for that. What happens when that happens? We'll see. Yeah, I'm just saying, Tory Lanez, or I'm just saying, ain't none of this worth that kind of money. That's that, I think this NFT, not all of them, but like the one that I was at today, I think there's some risk of it happening like the tulip crisis in Holland, where people was trading these tulips until somebody realized that, saying it's just flowers, B. Not paying you that for that. So we'll see, but in the meantime, like 793rd said, if you know what you're doing, cash out. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, in between time, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say peace. Fortunately for me today, I didn't have to broadcast from the G building, but we'll be back in there tomorrow to build on the science of Supreme Mathematics and Supreme Alphabet on the Day of Wisdom. And other than that, I'm gonna sign off and say peace.